What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Steelers Almighty. This is your boy Big B, Brian Hanley. I appreciate everybody being here, man. We got a lot to cover today. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, Steelers Almighty on YouTube, fastest growing Steelers channel right now on YouTube, man. And that's because of you guys. We appreciate it. Let's go over what we're going to talk about. Steelers had a joint practice today with the Bills. We're going to cover a little bit about what we saw there. Some exciting stuff there. Exciting stuff there. Broderick Jones. For some reason, Broderick Jones cannot beat out Dan Moore Jr. for the left tackle spot. We're going to discuss some of that and maybe the reason why. And then, oh, man, I hate to see it. Grayland Arnold goes on the IR with a calf injury. He's going to be out for the season. Yeah, not good stuff, man. Not good stuff. He was actually really pushing Beanie Bishop for that starting job as far as the slot corner is concerned. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Maybe it was a wake-up call for Beanie Bishop because Grayland Arnold had taken some of those reps. So we'll get into that and more. And again, like I mentioned, people, thank you guys for showing up. Steelers Almighty. Big push this week from you guys, man, as far as our subscribers. So remember to continue to subscribe, follow, like, all of that good stuff. And more importantly, comment, because I love going back and forth with you guys, man. So appreciate everybody being in here. Let's get after this. So first things first, Steelers have a joint practice today with the Buffalo Bills. Not a ton happened. You know, some of the things that did. First of all, we're going to talk about Broderick Jones a little bit later, but he did look good today. He looked good today. Took all the reps at right tackle. I know what you're thinking. Come on, B, what is going on? Yeah, I have no idea. I know Troy Fautanu is hurt. I get that, but you would think that the left tackle of the future would be able to somehow be able to get some reps at left tackle, but apparently that just wasn't in the cards for the Steelers today. It's a little disappointing in my mind, but he did play well. Went against some really good pass rushers over there at Buffalo and did his thing. Broderick Jones, he did well. Corey Trice Jr., again, he's making his claim, number one, not only to be a backup, but to try to get some time. He's taking advantage. Dante Jackson's a little banged up. Dante Jackson did some individual work today, but he did nothing as far as team or one-on-ones or anything like that. He's slowly working his way back, and I think they're taking it slow with him. But Corey Trice Jr. has literally jumped into the fold and taken advantage of that situation of somebody going down, next man up. He's coming off of an injury. But again, all reports about Corey Trice, man, were he was an outstanding player, but it was just the injury bug, which is why he slipped in the draft. Then he gets hurt last year. We all know the story. But in training camp, but you know what? This training camp, he looks good. He looks good. I'm excited about it. Made another interception near the end of practice or in end of 7 shots today. Just looked like a player. Looks like a player. Something that I'm not sure. I'll be honest. I'm not sure the Steelers staff or even a lot of fans were looking forward to or counting on Corey Trice Jr. being back. But it looks like he's going to be in the fold and maybe a big-time difference maker. Who knows? But it's really good to see because, like I said, got hurt last year in training camp. Nobody likes to see that. Nobody likes to see anybody get hurt at any time, but especially in training camp, a rookie that's fighting for a spot. But it looks like that work that he put in the offseason, it's paying off. So good for him. DeMarvin Leal continues to flash. I mean, at some point, I think myself and everybody else just got to say, hey, man, you were wrong when you didn't think he was going to make the team. I'll be the first person to admit I didn't have him making the team at the start of camp. I thought, you know what? We've seen 2 years of this guy. I know he was young. We've seen 2 years. It's just not going to click. It's not going to flash. Well, damn it, it's flash. And it is flashing bright red right now because the man is on fire. He is earning himself a spot on this team, earning some time. He's earning some time. Now, don't get me wrong. We still got Cam Hayward. We still got Larry Ogunjobi. Look, Larry O has played real good football during training camp. He has. I think he kind of sensed that the Steelers may be trying to replace him, and he has stepped up. Because last year, we can all be honest, it wasn't a good year for Larry O. It just wasn't. But he's starting to play good football, which is why he earned the contract that he did coming to the Steelers or with the Steelers. So, yeah, I like both guys, but Leal is really starting to flash. He's young. He's explosive off the ball, which are all things that we just hadn't seen before, being explosive and powerful, making plays, chasing things down. He did it again today at camp. Yeah, we just got to be excited, people. We just got to be excited. Here's another thing to be excited about. Well, it's kind of twofold. Zach Frazier saw all the reps at first team center today. Now, at first thought, it's, yeah, man, that's great news. Finally, he's the best player. You know, he's better than Herbig. The fact of the matter is Herbig is injured. The Steelers aren't really telling us anything about what is injured, how long he's going to be out or anything, but he's injured. And so Zach Frazier took all the reps with the ones. I would suspect the preseason game on Saturday that Frazier or Herbig is probably not going to play. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. It's bad because, again, we don't want to see anybody get hurt, but it's good because Zach Frazier is going to be out there with the starting unit of the offensive line. So that part is good. Mike Tomlin came out today and said the start. Now, he said the starters, but, I mean, do we expect Cam Hayward a lot, if at all? Do we expect TJ Watt a lot, if at all? You know, do we expect Mika Fitzpatrick a lot, if at all? I don't know. I don't know if those guys make it out there to play. We'll see. We'll see. But having said all of that, he did come out today and said that the starters are going to play, the ones that aren't injured, and they're going to play 3 to 4 series. Again, the guys that I mentioned, maybe they get a series, maybe. But the other guys are going to get out there and play a little bit. They're going to play a little bit. It's going to be interesting, man. I'm wanting to see what they do. Again, the Bills are a good football team. If the Steelers are trying to compete, now again, it's preseason, so let's not blow our head off or jump off a cliff or anything like that. We don't need to do that. Having said all of that, it's still football. It's still competition, you know. And I don't want to get into being Mike Tomlin and being Mike Tomlin speak, but it's competition, you know, in the stadium. And isn't that what Tomlin always says? In stadium means more than in practice. Well, they're going to be in stadium to do some evaluations. Let's see what it looks like. I'm excited to see what it looks like, actually. So let me get to some questions here, some statements from you guys. So here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Football time is here, people. It is here. So my man James Fields talking about, or Fetchko, I'm sorry, saying that it's bad because we need depth everywhere. You're right. You're exactly right. It's bad because we need the depth. We don't need Herbig to be hurt. We just need Frazier to be in the lineup ahead of him. So we don't need anybody to be hurt. And that's okay, I think. That's okay. But, yeah, we don't need anybody to be hurt. We don't want anybody to be hurt. So here's one here. I hope Trice stays healthy. That's his only problem. Otherwise, we will be good. That's exactly right. You know, again, there were reports last year during the draft or before the draft that Trice was better than Joey Porter Jr., or at least as good. Those were the reports. The reason that he dropped so far in the draft, injury history. And I mean, and that's a real thing. So injury history. Well, if he's healthy, he will help us. He's a big, long, athletic defensive back, quick twitched, can cover, has good ball skills, and I like him. I like him, and I know the Steelers like him too. But back to Zach Frazier, I think this is a big game coming up. Even though it's preseason, it's really big for his development and get out there with the first team. Again, Russell Wilson will be out there. Tomlin came out and said that today, that Russell Wilson was going to get a start. He's going to actually get the start. I know that had been up in the air, a little bit on what was going to happen, but Russell Wilson is going to get the start out there. So we'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. I don't know how long he'll play. If starters are playing, 4 series, I suspect Russell Wilson will just play 2. He's a veteran. He will play 2. I did notice, and I have noticed the chemistry between Russell Wilson and George Pickens isn't as good as the chemistry between Justin Fields and George Pickens. Now, a lot of that practice time. I get it. But I'm just saying, if we're just speaking truth here, we're just talking facts, it just hasn't been as good. The chemistry. Hopefully some of that gets worked out again with more reps together, all that good stuff. Hopefully all that kind of stuff gets worked out. But we'll see Russell Wilson out there on Saturday. I'm excited to see it. Let's move on here. Again, as always, man, Steelers Almighty. Again, the fastest growing Steelers channel on YouTube. We appreciate you guys, man. Super chats are wide open. We've got another one that came in last night on our video. We appreciate it. Again, those are just the things that help us continue to push these out to you guys. So we appreciate all of that, man. Thank you. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And more importantly, leave those comments. Moving on, man. Broderick Jones. Shoot. He just can't beat out Dan Moore Jr. As Steeler fans, or just football fans in general, did you ever think you'd hear somebody say that and it be true? I mean, because, and look, I know what people are going to say. Well, come on, B. He's only playing the right side because Troy Fautanu's hurt. That's not true. We saw what happened last week in the preseason game. He was playing right tackle in the third quarter of the first preseason game. Dan Moore wasn't playing left tackle. That's what I'm talking about. Why was Broderick Jones even out there? Somebody's going to have to explain that to me. What was going on? He can't beat the man out. I don't think the Steelers are comfortable putting Broderick Jones at left tackle right now and with the starting unit. That's troubling. It is. Now, look, I get right now that Troy Fautanu, he's injured. And he is. He's injured, so he's not practicing. But you're telling me that your future left tackle has gotten 0 reps at left tackle, even in practice, since Fautanu has gone down? Well, why is that? I mean, explain that. He's gotten no reps at left tackle. None. Since he's gotten hurt. Now, it could be one of 2 things. The first one could be he can't beat out Dan Moore Jr. at left tackle, which would be disgusting for Steeler fans alike. It would just be absolutely disgusting if that is the case. The second thing that it can be is that Troy Fautanu just isn't as good, and we have to play Broderick Jones there. And that's the plan. So, I don't know. And I've been screaming about this since the first OTAs when they said that the first unit of the offensive line that Broderick Jones was at right and Dan Moore Jr. was at left. I'm like, hold on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? So at some point, Jones has got to get better. We saw it. This is a great question by my man Dustin. Did Jones get worse or did Dan Moore get better? Let's leave some room for Dan Moore Jr. to have gotten better. Let's leave that room open. Okay? Maybe that's the case. So maybe there's a third option. Maybe Dan Moore Jr. has just gotten a lot better. Now, we saw the first preseason game. We've seen reports in practice. It doesn't appear that he's gotten better. I mean, I'm just being honest. It doesn't appear that he's gotten a whole lot better, but maybe he has. Maybe he has. But to me, if this guy is supposed to be your future left tackle, and that's what you're billing him up to be, is your future left tackle, when is the time to just put him at left tackle? And they could have told Dan Moore Jr., hey, man, look, Broderick Jones is our left tackle. If you want to play, you're going to have to learn to play right tackle. I know you don't like it. I know you don't want to, But that's where your position battle is going to be, is at right tackle, not left, at right tackle with this rookie. And the Steelers never said that. They have not said that he needs to do that. So it almost led me to believe that, well, they don't even plan to play him because he can't play another position when we already have solidified our left tackle. Well, it doesn't look like we've solidified our left tackle with Broderick Jones at this point, man. So, and I know what you're saying, but man, that Jones is the incumbent. Somebody's at the incumbent. You're the incumbent, like if you were a rookie and then you came in, okay, the second year, you got the job. Well, Jones doesn't have the job. It's his second year. First of all, I think we all thought he was better than Dan Moore Jr. last year, but we had to put him on the right side because Okorafor was just god awful. Lord, I mean, he stole money from the Steelers for years. Okay, fine. Now it's time for him to have the job, and he can't win it. He can't. They're not comfortable just saying, "No, sorry, Dan, this guy's better than you." Sorry. And to me, that's troubling. It's troubling. So, and I know what we're saying. Dan can't play right tackle. Well, then that just means Dan Moore can't play. Isn't that what it is? My man Steven is. I get it. He's saying Dan Moore cannot play right tackle. That's why Jones is over there. I mean, but before the season, before Faetanu got hurt, Jones should have just been the left tackle, and that should have been the end of it. Dan, you're running with the twos. Or if you want to try to start, you're going to have to try to play right tackle. That didn't happen. That hasn't happened. And let me ask you another question, people. When has a franchise left tackle, which Jones is supposed to be, because somebody else is hurt on the right side, have they said, hey, man, you got to go move and go play right tackle because somebody else can't play it? When has that happened? I mean, do you think that the Ravens would have done that with Jonathan Ogden or Walter Jones in Seattle? You know, some of these guys, Will Rofe, Willie Rowe, you think that they would have said, hey, man, because somebody, the backup, can't play right tackle, you got to move and go play right tackle? Hell no. Hell no, that wouldn't have happened. And that's happening. The swing tackle is a guy that we think is going to be our left tackle for the next decade. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. That basically Broderick Jones has to play second fiddle to a guy that he's supposedly better than because that guy isn't flexible and you are. That isn't it, man. That can't be the case. Otherwise, it's troubling. Hopefully, it's not the other way around where Dan Moore is just better than him. So if Dan Moore is better than him, yeah, that's not good. Unless Dan Moore's gotten better. But it doesn't appear that is the case. And I know some people are saying that Jones is athletic. So what? I'm the left tackle. I get that I'm athletic. That's why I am a left tackle, because I'm athletic. I shouldn't have to change positions because of somebody else's, inability or liability. I shouldn't have to change. This is my job. Why does he get my job? Because he can't do another job. I don't know. I see it both ways, but in practice, I'm thinking Broderick Jones should be getting as many left tackle snaps as he could possibly get, in practice, one-on-ones. He took none. He's taken zero since Faetanu has gone out. Like none. No one-on-ones, nothing. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I really don't. And Dylan Cook, they're kind of grooming him to be the swing tackle. Well, if they're truly grooming him to be the swing tackle, give him some of the reps over at right tackle and let Broderick stay at left. I did get this rumor today. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, is that they're talking about the reason is because they're going to trade Dan Moore Jr. at the end of training camp. So they want to give him so many snaps because the NFL teams, they get all the practice reps, preseason game reps. They get all of that. And the Steelers want Dylan Cook to truly be the swing tackle, and they're going to trade Dan Moore Jr. to somebody else. So they got to get him as many reps as possible to say, hey, he's playing well. He's playing for us, yada, yada, yada. so they can trade him. If that's the case, it makes sense. But I still think you got to have your starting left tackle be the left tackle. That's just my thoughts. So, oh well. Oh, not part of the Ayuk trade. And we're not talking the Ayuk trade tonight, man. Nope, I'm not doing it. Because first of all, there is no Ayuk trade. There isn't one. So there's no Ayuk trade at all. Steelers got played. I guess I can talk about it. Steelers got played. They got played. I put a post, a little short out today about it. Go check out all social media platforms. It's out there. Steelers almighty. The Steelers were the side piece and got played. That's just what happened, man. That's just what happened. Is that I don't think the 49ers had any intention on trading Ayuk. I think the 49ers allowed Ayuk to go out there and pretend like he was interested in other places to see what his market value actually was and then say, okay, we'll give you that. And I think that's exactly what happened here. I don't think Ayuk had any intentions on leaving San Francisco. I don't think his agent had any intentions on him leaving San Francisco. They just needed a dance partner. Well, they found a couple, and the Steelers were one of them, and the Steelers apparently are still wanting to dance in San Francisco. I mean, he was at practice today, for crying out loud. Now, he wasn't practicing, but he was there wearing 49er gear at practice on the sideline. He's been in meetings. He's not going anywhere, people. It's not happening. It's not happening. So, but yeah, no, Brad. Yeah, we talked about it today or earlier, maybe before you got in here. Broderick was really good today. It was just all on the right side. But he was good today. Just, again, took every rep on the right. I don't like that. I don't like that, man. So, let's move on. So, there was a battle going on for slot corner. You know, early in camp and up to the first preseason game, Beanie Bishop had won that job. Well, come out of the first preseason game, and Grayland Arnold had taken more first-team reps in the preceding practices at first-team slot corner than Beanie Bishop had. And you're thinking, well, what's going on here? You know, is he playing bad? Is Mike Tomlin, are they trying to send a message? It seemed like Grayland Arnold was just playing better. And then he got hurt, and now he's on the IR. He's going to be out for the season. He's got a calf injury. It stinks. It stinks because he was playing well. That was turning into a battle, people. Now, whether you like Beanie Bishop or not, that's kind of irrelevant. Grayland Arnold had turned that whole thing into an absolute battle. And then he goes down. Again, nobody wants to see anybody get hurt at any time, but especially in preseason. Lord have mercy. I mean, it just stinks. But he's going to be out for the season, unfortunately. They even said he might be cut just and get an injury, settlement. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope they bring him back. But he's been in the league for a while. He knows how that works. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Now, here's another thing at slot corner. Deshaun Elliott's been playing really good at camp. Can he be the slot corner? And then you bring KZ in to fill his spot? I don't know. I think Deshaun Elliott is a hitter. He's a tackler. I don't think he's a slot corner type of a guy. He's truly a strong safety. He is a strong safety. I don't know if you want him. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying there's other guys out on our football team that are capable of doing that. There are other guys out there that are capable of doing that. That would be my guy. So we'll see about Deshaun. But he's played well. He has played well. But Beanie Bishop, I think he's got to show a little bit better in the preseason game coming up. I think he's got to be a little bit better than what he was. He was fine. He's been playing fine, but I think he needs to flash a little bit more. Continue to solidify this position. Just solidify himself so that they don't have anybody else that's taking first-team reps away from him in practice. So that doesn't happen anymore. Just go solidify yourself, man, which he's capable of doing. He's capable of doing that. So we'll see what happens. Again, man, just as everybody want to make sure everybody understands, if you see down in the right-hand corner there, every now and then you're going to see a number flash up. go ahead and make a call. We've got a phone line set up for you guys to rant, leave comments, questions, statements, all that good stuff. We're going to play those, find the best ones, and put a couple of those on our Wednesday podcast at Steelers Almighty that come out on YouTube and anywhere you get a podcast. So make sure you start calling into that number. You'll see the number down there here shortly. Write it down, call in, leave a message with your name, where you're calling from, and your YouTube username. And if it works, if yours is the best one, we will put you up. We will put you up. And that'll be a weekly thing. So remember that. That'll be a weekly thing. And again, like I mentioned before, man, thanks everybody. We got another super chat yesterday. We're the fastest growing Steelers channel on YouTube right now. We started April 4th. We're just under 2,200 subscribers, man. We are growing like wildfire, and it is because of you guys. We appreciate it, man. This is a fans page done by fans. You know, just know a little bit of football, played a little bit of football, diehard Steeler fan, man. So I love it. And we'll also remember, just like we're doing right now, Saturday after the game, we will be live again right here, taking comments, questions, all that good stuff, just like we'll do after every Steelers game this season. Every single one, we will be doing it this season. So keep all that in mind, people. So put some comments and stuff in the comment section here in the chat. We'll get to whatever you guys are wanting to talk about. Again, Steelers had a joint practice today with the Buffalo Bills. For all it looks like is that the offense did well today. That the offense kind of led the way on both sides. On both sides, Buffalo and the Steelers. That the offense kind of led the way today. Josh Allen made some good plays, made some good throws. Russell Wilson and Justin Field both lit it up in 7 shots. Steelers offensive line, especially Broderick Jones, played well. Zach Frazier did a lot of dirty work today. He's gotten a ton of reps the last few days with the first team, and he's looking good, people. He's looking good, and he looked good again today. His leverage, his pad level, his hand placement has all been tight. That was all the stuff that they talked about pre-draft on why he was going to be such a good center in the National Football League. A lot of that's starting to be on display now. A lot of that is starting to be on display now. So good for Zach Frazier, man. Good for Zach Frazier. We appreciate it. So let's see. Yeah, Claypool couldn't participate. Claypool was out, man. Claypool is out for the year. There was some talk that before he got hurt, that would the Steelers want to bring back Claypool? I'm like, no. The Steelers pulled off the greatest heist in the history of the National Football League, in my opinion, outside of the Herschel Walker trade. But yeah, trading Claypool for a second-round pick, gee, many Christmas. I mean, thank you, Chicago Bears. Thank you. And guess who we got? Joey Porter Jr. So, again, thank you very much. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So what do y'all think about Juju? There's been buzz. The Steelers reportedly put out saying that the door would be open for him to come back. Do we want Juju back? Now, I don't think that he would be a good number 2, maybe a number 3 receiver. I mean, the reason that New England got rid of him, he doesn't have any more explosion. That knee is just, it must be shot, must be done. All I know is when Juju came to the Steelers last year, he cooked us. Now, he didn't do much the rest of the year. Didn't do much. But he played us, and New England was bad. But yet, he found a way. He found a way. So, we'll see. We will see. I don't see bringing him in and seeing if he's got anything. Again, we wouldn't have to give him any guaranteed anything. He's getting paid from New England still now. So we wouldn't have to guarantee him anything. Just see does he have anything. And if he does, great. So if he does, great. But we'll see. If Juju came back and he turned out to be our number 2 receiver, yeah, that would be a problem. That would be a problem because Juju's not a number 2 receiver anymore. He's just not. He's not. He's a veteran. He still has good hands. He can make tough catches. He's tough. He'll go over the middle and take a hit. He's that guy. He's going to block. He's always been a great blocker. I just don't think, yeah, I don't think that he's that guy. I'm waiting for Roman Wilson to get back. That's who I'm waiting to get back. I'm waiting for Roman Wilson to get back. I felt like early in camp, before they put the pads on. Now, again, things change when you put the pads on, but he's a physical guy anyway. And I felt like Roman Wilson was tracking to be the number 2 receiver for Pittsburgh. I felt like that all along, that he was tracking to be that guy. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. If he can get back and he can contribute, that's a good thing. That's a good thing because we need as many weapons as possible. As many as possible. You know, something that's not really being talked about a ton right now, which I think that's a good thing. Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. Like, nobody's really speaking about them. I mean, they're practicing well. They're both healthy. They're doing their thing. Do y'all think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Let me know in the comments that they're not really talking about Najee and Jaylen. Is that good or bad? You know, again, you're not seeing anything bad. I think they both had some okay reps preseason game 1. We're going to see more of them in preseason game 2. There wasn't a whole lot of running room for Jaylen, so Lions got to do a little bit better job there and just opening up some holes. But yeah, no, there's really no talk about them at all. So hopefully that means it's a good thing, because usually no news is good news. But you know, because if you're doing bad, somebody's going to say that you're playing bad. You know, there's too many eyes, too many cameras, too much stuff going on, that if you were playing bad, somebody's going to say that you were playing bad, and nobody's saying that about them. So that's a good thing. So that is a good thing. I like it. Yeah, and I don't know if they're going to be our secret weapon, because as much as Arthur Smith wants to run the football, Najee and Jaylen, they're going to be one of the weapons. I don't know if they'll be a secret weapon, but they are definitely going to be one of the weapons out there. So, hey, my man is one of our first super chatters that sent us our first super chat, Capricorn Steel. What's going on, man? He says, great thing, especially for Najee, being in contract year and not a distraction. Yeah. How often do you see a guy get a 5th year turned down in a contract year and he's just going out playing the best football that he can? But again, it's in his best interest to do that. It's in Najee's best interest to not be a distraction, to play as hard as he can, to have as good a year as he possibly can so he can get paid. Hell, maybe that's to the Steelers. Who knows? I don't think it would be, because the Steelers could have easily just picked up his 5th year option and would have paid him a lot less next year if they were going to keep him. But who knows? Who knows? We've seen stranger things happen in this league, man. We have seen stranger things happen in this league. So who the hell knows what the Steelers are going to do in their running back situation next year? But I'm still excited about this year. I still think the Steelers got a shot, man. They got a shot. They got to win some playoff games, you know. Or let me just start here. Let me ask you guys this question. If the Steelers don't win a playoff game, what are your thoughts on Mike Tomlin? Like, are we still satisfied with being 9-8? I can tell you right now, Big B and Steelers Almighty, we are not satisfied with 9-8. Nope. We're not. We're not. I got to see a playoff win. I'm tired of not winning in the playoff. And not only not winning, the last couple of times that we've been in the playoffs, we had no shot to win. And I know the game last year in Buffalo, we were down 7 with what was like 8 minutes to go or something like that. But if you know, just like I know, if you're being honest with yourself, the Steelers had no chance to win that game. We didn't. We weren't going to stop Buffalo from scoring when we needed to stop them from scoring, and we didn't. And we never had a chance to beat them. We just didn't. I thought it was crap that we didn't play the game. You know, I know it was a blizzard, and I get all of that with, you know, fan safety, but the Steelers would have had a better chance of playing in the blizzard than they did the next day. And that's what I believe. But it is what it is. But we got to get a playoff win. You know, like this whole he's over 500. I'm not discounting and saying that that's not a good thing. What I am discounting and saying it's not enough. It's not enough. We got to be better. We got to be better. At some point, we've got to win a playoff game. At some point. And again, I'm not saying, okay, win a playoff game and stop. That's it. No. But I'm saying that should be the floor. The floor should be a playoff game, a playoff victory. Let me just clarify that. Yeah, the floor should be winning a playoff game. And again, I don't care what the regular season record is, as long as we get in the playoffs and we win. You know, some people get caught up on what the regular season record should look like. I don't care. I don't care. I just want to win in the playoffs. And whatever it requires us to get into the playoffs and win, that's what I would want. But yeah, I'm done. I'm done. So that's my thing. And yeah, that's just my thing. That's just my thing, man. I'm past the 500 stuff. But I am excited about what we got going on this year because new offense, new quarterbacks, new system. It's got to be a new plan. You know, hopefully a better running game, more physical, more imagination. The defense gets back to. I think the defense got a chance to be top 5 defense this year. I really do. I think the Steelers defense has a big shot to be a top 5 defense this year. I do. Yeah, I think they're going to be more physical in the run game. And if they are more physical in the run game, that's going to help on passing situations. I think we've got more depth in the secondary. I think our pass rush is going to be better. Patrick Queen, let's not discount how good this man is. He's going to help not only in the run game, but also in the passing game because he can cover, ladies and gentlemen. He can cover. We haven't had a linebacker like him since Ryan Shazier. And Ryan Shazier was very good. He was super athletic, man. So I got a feeling that the Steelers defense this year is going to be what we expect it to be. You know, last year it almost seemed like if we didn't on third down, if we didn't get to the quarterback, that they were going to complete the pass and that was it. It was going to be a new set of downs. It seemed like that so many times last year. It's like unless we get heavy pressure and force a bad throw, we couldn't cover the guys. So hopefully that has changed. I think what we've got back there, it looks like that it has changed. Again, this is still practice. Even the preseason games are still practice. And we'll find out once we got real game plans in place. I cannot wait for this season to start, people. I just can't wait. So, and you're right, Mike. The key is everybody staying healthy. Yeah, everybody's got to stay healthy. But you can say that about every football team every single year. Health is the key. And it is. It is. It is the key. You know? So we got to find a way to win because guys are going to get hurt. We still got to be able to find a way to make plays. And hopefully some of those injuries don't happen to our key players like they have the past couple of seasons. I mean, TJ got hurt one year, and he wasn't the same. Cam got hurt before the season started. Then back in the first game, he was never the same. Minka got hurt. He wasn't the same when he came back, and he missed a lot of time. And not only that, we lost every linebacker that we had except E-Rob. Minka was having to play down at the bottom. I mean, we were playing safeties at linebacker. We called Miles Jack out of retirement. The man had literally said, I don't want to play football anymore. We offered him enough to where he said, okay, I'll come back and play. And he didn't do horrible, but that's what we were dealing with last year. It's just the injury bug just ate us alive. Can't have that happen this year. Hopefully the football gods will be on our side, man. Hopefully they'll be on our side. So, all right, people. I'm going to shut this one down for the day. I appreciate everybody being here. Again, as always, Steelers Almighty. Remember, like, follow, subscribe, comment, notification bell, all that stuff. Steelers Almighty, fastest growing Steelers channel on YouTube. Remember, super chats are still wide open even after this. Make sure if that's something that you choose to do, we appreciate that. But make sure you definitely subscribe to us, comment, and spread the word, man. So thank you guys for showing up and showing out like you always do. We will be back to you soon. We won't be on tomorrow, but we will be back on live after the game. So We are going live after the preseason, after the Buffalo Bills preseason game on Saturday. 15 minutes after the game, we'll be live and ready to roll. Until then, aloha.